Hi there, it's Kathy with ALECC. I'm here to talk to you today about once a nurse, always a nurse. Never goes away, does it? I mean, we can't even enter an elevator without assessing someone. We might be assessing, oh, I'd love to start an IV in those veins, or perhaps their right ankle is a little bit more swollen. Could they have a cardiac disease? Oh, are they barrel chested? How are they breathing? I mean, we're always looking at somebody, right? I can remember a couple of different times. One, I had moved into when I was married years ago, I moved into a new neighborhood, and we bought a home, and we had a couple that lived next to us. They had a young child that they had adopted when he was an infant, and then he was slowly growing into a toddler that was exhibiting behavioral issues. And I can remember at the time that the parents were a little exacerbated. They were older parents, and they were struggling with the behavioral issues, and they were becoming more aggressive. So one day I took it upon myself, because you know how us nurses can be. We're very much straight talkers. I sat my neighbor down and asked if ever they had discussed, because this young man had been adopted and, they didn't have open medical records on him, had they ever discussed the possibility of fetal alcohol syndrome? She looked at me, and I could tell by the startled look on her face that no, those words had never appeared. Well, sure enough, shortly thereafter, further testing occurred, back to the doctor, specialist, this and that, and the young man was diagnosed with FAS, fetal alcohol syndrome. I also know, I'm sure you've all had this experience, because remember, this channel is a place for us to support and share. I've had a young friend that was 35 that was diagnosed with some stomach cancer that had spread. And, when people are young, they're very aggressive about everything that they want to do to treat. And there was a day when he asked me to come over, and he sent everybody out of the room except for me to give it to him straight. Which I said to him it was probably wise for him to now start getting his affairs in order. Probably one of the most difficult conversations I had to have friend to friend, as this is someone that I hung out with for many years, went to concerts, he used to come out and hang out with me when I was going to nursing school, and sure enough, within 5 weeks he had passed. Just last week, and this is why I say we never ever get to stop being a nurse. I was at a big conference in Las Vegas, and you know how some of those hotels are just giant. Walking out of my hotel room, there was an elderly man right there holding up his hotel room key, asking a young couple in the hallway, it was this room number that he was asking for down this hall, and they just said, no, it's not there, and they walked on. Well, of course, being a nurse, immediately had to kick in, because I was assessing him, making sure that he was breathing okay, and he looked a little lost. He was oriented enough, just confused and lost. So for the next 10 minutes, I slowly walked with him back to his hotel room, got him settled, and fortunately there was a housekeeper that was on the same floor, just a door down from where this gentleman's room was. And once he got in his room, she did tell me that he had a wife, and he was 94 years old, and I had wanted to make sure that he wasn't alone and that he was okay, breathing okay, and doing all of that, and sure enough he was. But you know how it goes. We as nurses never get to turn that off, and what that is compassion. Compassion, whether we are with friends, colleagues, strangers, it just kicks in. We as nurses have so many different qualities. Every year when they vote who's the most trusted, they vote on, people need to pass a test on, or vote on who is the most trusted, it's always nurses that come up. Well, there's a reason for that. That has been in years past, but there's a reason for that. We are very practical individuals, we're very pragmatic individuals, because we want to make sure that we get our patients to do what is in the best interest when we educate them and give them choices, of course. But the one thing that we very much possess within each and every one of us that we don't even think about is compassion. It just kicks in automatically. You stop what you're doing and you take care of what needs to be taken care of. It's a wonderful quality to have. And I'm thinking about all of the nurses now that are helping here in the current hurricane situation and with the hurricane that's coming up. So just remember, compassion is one of the best qualities that we as nurses have, that we can offer the world, and that helps us to make a difference. Now make sure that you use that compassion towards yourself, and do a little something for yourself every day. Take a minute or two here. Please join our channel. And if you have a nice little story of compassion that you'd like to share, make sure you make a comment and leave a note in the comments. I'd love to hear it. Again, thank you for the hard work that you do. Very much appreciated. With you in spirit, and thank you for making a difference. Bye-bye now.